Well, good morning and welcome to UMass Chan Medical School. I'm Michael Collins, and I have the great privilege to serve as Chancellor here at UMass Chan. This is a day we have long anticipated, and we're delighted to be able to gather together with you to celebrate the official opening of our new education and research building. Today's ceremonial ribbon cutting heralds the start of a new dynamic chapter in UMass Chan's unfolding narrative, one where we will witness a convergence of hope and expectation, aspiration and realization, intent and impact. The opening of the NURB represents a substantial down payment in furtherance of our institutional commitment to change the course of history of disease in Worcester for the world. On a day when we reaffirm our bold and ambitious plans to make a sustained impact on health around the world, it's entirely fitting to welcome to our campus the inspiring leader of an organization synonymous with public health and global impact. Today we're privileged to welcome Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus as our featured speaker and honorary degree recipient. Dr. Tedros is currently serving his second five-year term as Director General of the World Health Organization, based in Geneva, Switzerland, comprised of more than 8,000 professionals who coordinate the world's response to health emergencies, promote well-being, prevent disease, and expand access to health care. He's joined today by his wife, Kittist, his son, Brooke, and his daughter, Blen. Would all of you please join me in welcoming Dr. Tedros and his family to Worcester. We look forward to hearing your address later in the program, and we're delighted that you're able to join our faculty, staff, and learners to see our new education and research building as we officially open its doors. Now, there are many statistics about this gleaming new structure that are impressive. 40,000 cubic yards of soil were removed to shape the foundation. It rises 183 feet above the ground and encompasses just over 354,000 square feet. It contains 3,295 tons of steel, 379 miles of electrical wiring, and 3,000 linear feet of lab benches. And hidden underneath the quad is a cutting-edge geothermal system comprised of 75 boreholes dug 500 feet deep that will help to heat and cool the building in the most efficient and sustainable means available. Now, occupying a prominent place along our quad, the beautiful edifice serves as a symbol of progress and very soon will be an engine of hope. The facility and the life-saving work which will take place within command our attention and deserve our respect. Rising 9 stories high in the heart of our campus and featuring a glimmering glass facade that will illuminate the science within, this building reflects the ambitions and capabilities of a university committed to discovery, learning, and healing. Now, with the above-mentioned construction figures, they're noteworthy. They really tell only a very small part of the story. Please turn your attention to the screen for more about the NURB. We watched in great anticipation as hundreds of skilled construction workers carved a massive hole in the ground over here. And now the steel skeleton we see today has emerged from that foundation. This new education and research building will be a state-of-the-art, LEED Gold certified, frankly beautiful space for our faculty, staff, and students to learn. And it will be a stunning addition to a vibrant and growing campus. The spaces within are designed with collaboration and discovery in mind, fostering interdisciplinary consultation and conversation. Our research enterprise is burgeoning. We celebrate discovery, breakthroughs, and teaching that will take place right here.
UMass Chan Medical School is in a constant state of growth. There is always advancement that we see here. This building gives us an opportunity to work side by side with other researchers in neurology, neurobiology, psychiatry, and other disciplines related to the neurosciences. I'm convinced this is going to accelerate the research that we do.
The design of the building is really unique for the laboratory space. It's very collaborative. All the laboratories are occupying shared space with benches immediately adjacent to one another. And it really allows for a lot of collaboration between groups within the department, but also outside the department. And I think this is really going to expand the research presence on campus.
My lab is excited for brand new space, open floor concept, to be right next to our collaborators, to be able to share our science just in more casual settings. I was able to design my own space that fits exactly the needs of our lab. Was certainly one of the draws for me to come to this campus. We really are grateful to have the opportunity to have a building that was made for what we are doing in our lab.
We'll be moving into the heart of the campus, really the center of the campus, and we'll have easy access to all the other scientists here on campus. And I think just by physical presence, it'll lead to a dramatic increase in collaborations.
Let this building change the course of history of disease. I'm so grateful to those of you who have made the time to be with us today, to our esteemed faculty, our colleagues and learners, and particularly to our campus facilities management leaders, past and present, to our elected officials, those present with us today and those whose encouragement and support of our Commonwealth's great public medical school continues to be steadfast. This includes Congressman Jim McGovern, together with Senator Warren and Senator Markey, represented here today by Jesse Lederman. State Senators Robin Kennedy and Michael Moore. State Representatives John Mahoney and Hannah Kane. And Worcester's great Mayor Joe Petty. City Councilor Candy Merrill Carlson and Worcester's Chief of Economic Development Peter Dunn. Our gratitude extends to each of you for making the time to be with us today. Later in our program, we'll hear some brief video comments from the Massachusetts 2 senators who need to be in Washington today, our Commonwealth's governors, our Commonwealth's governor, and others. To the leadership of the University of Massachusetts, including President Marty Meehan and representatives of the Board of Trustees who are here today, represented and speaking shortly, Vice Chair Mary Burns. Thank you for being such steadfast stewards of the university, and for the unwavering commitment you make to ensure that we have the resources to succeed. To the UMass Building Authority, its board, leadership team, and staff. To our construction team, Shawmut Construction, ARC, Turver, and most especially the hundreds of tradesmen and women whose hands crafted the building that we shall soon enter. We thank each one of you. Be assured we recognize that it is the work of your collective hands that made this facility a reality. Thanks to your extraordinary efforts, we shall now be enable and empower the work of the hands of those who shall bring life to this building, and in so doing, change lives for the better. You've been an amazing team with which to work. Now, many of you are aware that at the initiation of the project, our expectations were high. And I'm so pleased to tell each of you today that those expectations have been exceeded. The building is a source of physical and academic connection, collaboration that will offer hope to people across the world. When this project was first brought to the attention of our Board of Trustees early on during the pandemic, we made the case that despite unforeseen challenges before us, we could not delay the creation of this research and education complex. At the conclusion of my presentation to our board, I introduced Cameron. Cameron is a young boy who, upon his diagnosis of Canavan disease, struggled to engage with his family. His parents, like so many with children with such challenging diseases, turned to our medical school's faculty in a search for hope. Canavan disease is rare, caused by an anomaly in just one of Cameron's tens of thousands of genes. Here at UMass Chan, our gene therapy pioneers not only identified that gene, but developed a novel therapy to deliver a healthy gene to Cameron. This was Cameron a year following that promising treatment. Happy at birth time, like so many children his age, with a coy smile, engaging with his family and friends. Clearly, fear and despair had turned into hope and expectation. And I'm happy to share that today, nearly 6 years after receiving gene therapy, Cameron remains a symbol of progress, a symbol of the promise of a healthier future. And for those of us gathered today, a symbol of the lives that can be forever changed when we invest in and advance biomedical research. Cameron is not alone. In Boston, a little girl named Noah and her family were confronted with the same challenging reality. Her parents said, the day we got the diagnosis that our daughter had Canavan disease, her mother, Lori, said they were told, but there's a trial. We were the first family, she said, to be given this idea that there was something that we could do. For us, it was, there's a trial. There's something on the horizon that could make a difference. In June of 2022, Noah received gene therapy. And you're watching Noah here 1 year later. To see her now, Noah's father, Lee, said, she's walking. Canavan kids don't walk. Canavan kids don't sit like this. But as Lee, Lori, Noah, and Cameron know, there is reason to hope. While we gather to celebrate the opening of a glistening new building, we recognize that the teams working inside our new building will change the course of history of disease. Your intellect and your commitment to advancing together offer hope for cures, hope for new discoveries, hope for more time for people like Noah and Cameron. At UMass Chan, we are inspired and challenged every day to remember that biomedical research brings hope to the human condition. Through difficult times and challenging circumstances, hope is a balm for the world. Inside this bright and airy new space, interdisciplinary research teams and learners will come together to offer hope to the world. Those of you here with us today have the privilege to be the first, but be assured that many future generations will follow in our footsteps into our new building and carry forth the torch that we light today. The endeavors of our faculty and learners matter Your science offers hope, the hope of unlocking the mysterious mechanisms of disease. Your teaching offers the hope of an inspiring future for generations of caregivers and of future discoveries that today we can only imagine. Your clinical acumen can brighten your patient's glimmer of hope as hand in hand you offer care and compassion. For these reasons, you can now envision why today's celebration is so vital. As we recognize the impact we shall have right here in Worcester, the city we call home, across Massachusetts and beyond, let us recall the path we have traveled together and the one ahead. We've heard it all before, but it's appropriate today to remind each of us that it's amazing what can be accomplished when one isn't concerned about who gets the credit. Ours is a high calling. Our professions need us more than ever. Noah, Cameron, their families, and so many others whose names we yet do not have the privilege to know shall be forever grateful to the University of Massachusetts and its UMass Chan Medical School because we acted boldly and wisely. We invested our resources well, and most importantly, those investments were to serve those most in need. These actions were prescient, for you see, hope is so precious. Let us continue today's speaking program with the leadership of the Commonwealth's great public university system. This new building represents the university's most recent strategic and successful investment in the region, in the future, and in the life sciences. Our construction colleagues tell me that were we to begin this $350 million structure today, instead of in 2020, inflation and other factors would more than double the cost, which would have derailed the project. We're proud to be bringing this facility online, on time, and on budget. This was accomplished with the support and partnership with the university's leadership and its Board of Trustees. President Meehan believed in the merits of the project at a time when very few university presidents would have the courage and conviction to do so. With his help and influence, we were able to make a compelling case to the Board of Trustees, which endorsed the project and allowed us to continue on our trajectory. It's wonderful to have President Meehan and UMass Board Vice Chair and UMass Building Authority Chair Mary Burns with us today. I now have the pleasure of inviting President Meehan to the program. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Michael, and to today's keynote speaker and honorary Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros. Thank you for being here on this very special day. And I have to say, your remarks yesterday were very personal, a lot of life lessons growing up in Ethiopia, and they were very, very moving, and I look forward to hearing your remarks. But thank you for your presence here. My former colleague, Jim McGovern, in the Congress, great to see you. Members of our State House delegation, Mayor Petty, the former Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray, the UMass Chan faculty, students, staff, and leadership. I bring the greetings from the University of Massachusetts system, and I always enjoy returning to our Commonwealth's only public medical school. Early this week, new doctors, scientists, nurses began the next chapter in their careers after walking across this very stage. While lives of UMass Chan graduates have been transformed by the education they receive here, many, many, many more lives are transformed by the work of our graduates and the community of scholars that call UMass Chan home. the care that they provide, the connections that they make, the collaborations that they pursue, and the biomedical research that they undertake in this building, across this campus, and elsewhere have a profound impact on the health and wellness of people across the Commonwealth and indeed around the world. You may see this beautiful 9-story building before us today and take for granted the opening of yet another state-of-the-art research facility. After all, there have been ambitious expansions of this campus footprint throughout Chancellor Collins' tenure. You may even think that it's a simple process to construct something of this magnitude. I assure you that it is anything but. Plans for the state-of-the-art research facility and to expand capacity here at the medical school have been in the works for years. There have been numerous conversations and deliberations about the best way to proceed with a cutting-edge, energy-efficient building. These conversations, prioritized from input from the faculty here, the leadership, and students, as well as the President's Office and our colleagues at the UMass Building Authority, to help shape UMass Chan's goals for the future. But let me take you back to that pivotal point in the timeline, March of 2020. Now, you don't need me to remind you of the state of the world just over 4 years ago, as COVID-19's global impacts intensified. We experienced challenges and uncertainty in our daily lives, and for a time, construction was many of the activities that were banned, supply lines taken apart. So I assumed Chancellor Collins would hit the pause button, delay on embarking on a signature capital construction progress in the midst of so many unknowns. No, rather than delaying the project, Chancellor Collins accelerated the planning process. Michael was undeterred. He has unwavering faith in this medical school and in the scope and the impact of the research and the trajectory of this institution. He was optimistic at a time when, frankly, few others could look beyond the urgency of the moment. His vision, not just for this $350 million education research building, but for how medicine and science would ultimately lift the world out of the pandemic, was clear and it was compelling. Even before a single experiment has been conducted inside the walls here, this project has yielded important community and workforce benefits. And why is it such a difficult thing to proceed? Well, when you're borrowing $350 million for a project, that's a big deal. You know, a lot of people think of UMass Chan medical schools, maybe the state provided them, somebody else provided them. No, this is a project that requires all of us to be working and figuring out how to put it together. And I have to say, over the last several years, hundreds of talented construction workers, engineers, and tradespeople have been hard at work to make this building what it is today. This UMass Building Authority facility exceeded targets on the number of women and minority-owned businesses involved in the project. And the building is opening up, as has been mentioned, on time and on budget. And when you're borrowing that much money, it's got to be on budget. Thank you, Michael, for your strategic vision, for your perseverance. This new education research building will change the face of the UMass Chan campus. And future classes of scientists, nurses, physicians will continue to benefit from your team's forward-thinking vision. Faculty and their lab teams will accelerate research into therapeutics that will deepen our knowledge of disease and health. And while the work of all of you here at the UMass Chan Medical School always inspires me and gives me hope for the future, as you grow into this building, the possibilities will only continue to expand. It's an honor to lead this system as president. I congratulate all of you, and just great job. And Michael, fabulous job. I now would like to ask to the podium the person who serves two key roles for the university. One is the vice chair of the Board of Trustees, and the other one, probably more important for today, is she chairs the UMass Building Authority. Please welcome Trustee Mary Burns.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you, President Meehan, and thank you to Chancellor Collins and your team for hosting us. On behalf of Chair Karam and the Board of Trustees of the University of Massachusetts and the University of Massachusetts Building Authority, I wish to welcome you to this groundbreaking event of a spectacular research building. Just a few days ago, I was on campus to witness over 300 doctors, nurses, and scientists cross the stage to receive their degrees, and I will say that this building was a fantastic backdrop to our ever-expanding medical school. It is a real honor to be here today, and I would like to offer a special welcome and recognition to Dr. Tedros and his lovely family. I got to know your children last night, and they're great kids. It is incredibly special for us to have a dignitary of your stature and experience to join our medical school community. I would also like to recognize our state and federal elected officials, the UMass Chan faculty, leadership, and supporters who are here today. Several of us have had the chance to tour the new building, and as we like to say in Boston, it is wicked awesome. What a wonderful setting and atmosphere for our people to work and for our students to learn. As chair of the Building Authority's board, it brings me immense pride to see a project like this come to fruition on one of our campuses. To me, the team at UMBA, in particular, Executive Director Barbara Cronke, David Mullen, Maggie Dorino, Peter Gray Mullen, Charlie Parody, and the entire Capital Projects team, this building symbolizes how the University of Massachusetts can be an engine of economic development for the Commonwealth. It also reinforces the university's role in being a leading enterprise that is investing in the future. As a business owner myself, I fully appreciate how important it is for our public university to serve as a social and economic driver. Today is a great example of how to accomplish this. This massive and nuanced project has finished on time, and as you heard, on budget, that we insist on. And for that, I would like to publicly thank and acknowledge UMBA's construction team, led by Sharmat Construction. I am also especially pleased to see that the number of minority and women-owned businesses and tradesmen and women who contributed to this project not only met, but significantly surpassed goals set by the Building Authority. I just want to give you a few statistics. This transformative project could not have been done without a large group of Worcester area and Massachusetts workforce talent, our construction force, many of whom are here today to celebrate this accomplishment. This project started over 42 months ago during the pandemic, and since then, hardworking men and women have contributed over 900,000 hours of labor from over 50 union firms to dig soil, pour concrete, erect steel, install pipes and wires, assemble and paint walls, and carpet and tile the floors. The life science and healthcare workforces in our state will benefit from the work of those men and women, and from the research into professional education and collaboration that will happen here. Our world-class medical school has always been a leader in advancing these crucial missions, and I look forward to seeing all that you, Chancellor Collins, Provost Flott, and your incredible faculty, staff, and students will accomplish in the years ahead. Congratulations to UMass Medical School.
Vice Chair Burns and President Meehan, thank you very much for being with us today and for your leadership. At this time, I would like to ask our honored guest, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, to join me at the lectern. Dr. Tedros. Ambassador and advocate for health care as an essential human right, guardian of global public health, esteemed and trusted scholar, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, PhD, it is indeed a privilege to welcome you to the University of Massachusetts Chan Medical School today as we ceremonially open this new education and research building, which holds the promise of changing the course of history of disease. In your own family and in your native Ethiopia, as a child, the disease-induced suffering and loss you witnessed planted a seed within you that has blossomed into your renowned, lifelong commitment to advancing, improving, and protecting the public health. Educated in Africa and Europe with training in biology, immunology, infectious diseases, and community health, your career began as a field-level malariologist. Before long, you were leading a regional health service, and then named Minister of Health for Ethiopia, where you directed a far-reaching reform of the country's health system to expand the workforce, innovate financing, reduce maternal and infant mortality, and broadly ensure health care for as many people as possible, regardless of their geography or social status. As Ethiopia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, you elevated health as an instrument of economies, politics, and justice, not just in Northern Africa, but around the world. In 2017, becoming the first African to be elected as Director General of the World Health Organization. Now in your second 5-year term, steering the world's preeminent public health agency, you have transformed an organization whose impact reaches to all corners of the globe by promoting health and preventing disease, universal health coverage, making progress towards it, and preparing for, preventing, and responding effectively to health emergencies. While your scholarly work and leadership have been lauded widely, including inclusion on Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People of 2020, and becoming the first non-American to be awarded the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Humanitarian Award, we hold up as a model the way you have demonstrated leadership, ethically, collaboratively, and indefatigably. Your career of service is imbued with a belief that nothing less than health for all must be our collective aspiration, vowing that the WHO's vision is, and I quote, not health for some, nor health for most. It's health for all, rich and poor, able and disabled, old and young, urban and rural, citizen and refugee, everyone, everywhere. For advocating for health care as an essential human right, for your scholarly contributions, for recognizing that no one is immune from needing care, for encouraging that intelligent management and partnerships are the surest way to achieve our aspirations of high quality, accessible, and equitable health care for all. Today, the University of Massachusetts Chan Medical School confers upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Please accept this diploma as an enduring symbol of this university's admiration, respect, and gratitude. Congratulations. We're going to just stay right here. Before I introduce Dr. Tedros, I just want to say that I had the privilege to go to Geneva to invite him to give the talk. And within a minute of meeting him, I knew I was in the presence of a special person. And since that day, we have really bonded in a marvelous way. I'm so grateful, Dr. Tedros, that despite the fact that your council has just concluded, that you would be willing to come with your family to be with us at such a momentous time in our history. You are a genuine leader. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Martin. Maybe during the Mike. Thank you, Mike. Maybe during the assembly, talking a lot, I lost my voice, so it's a bit difficult. I had dinner yesterday, and it was a very good time. And Mike asked me to speak about myself and nothing else. So I told my story. Many of you were not there, but I think a good number of you. As Mike indicated earlier, growing up in Ethiopia could be difficult. And in my early childhood, I was trapped in a war. And my mother's prayer was for me to survive just one day. And she has been very grateful for that one day. And of course, here I am as Director General of the World Health Organization. And I fully agree with you that hope is the most precious thing, Mike. And probably that was what was going on in my mother's head, to stay hopeful and be grateful. And that's it. And here I am. So anything is possible if we keep the hope. Especially now, our world is getting really a bit crazy. Not a bit, actually, really crazy. But we need to stay hopeful and hope it will be better. Then with that, I think I will go to my speech. Chancellor Michael Collins, I start calling him my brother. We're so connected, as he had said. President Mian and Madam Vice Chair Mary Burns, Congressman Jim McGovern, distinguished guests, students, faculty, family, and friends. It's such a great honor for me to be here. First, to receive this honorary degree, which I accept with a mixture of pride and humility. Humility, if there's one thing that my upbringing taught me. And second, it's an honor for me to join you as we open the new education and research building here at the University of Massachusetts Chan Medical School. I thank Chancellor Collins for the invitation and for this great honor. And thank you, Marilyn, wherever you are now, for your hospitality and meeting us at the airport yesterday. And Mike has been to visit us at WHO in Geneva, as he had said a couple of times. And we have discussed how WHO and UMass Chan Medical School can work together. So thank you for creating that bridge, Mike. And I offer my congratulations to you and the entire school community on the opening of this building. Although the building is new, its twin purposes, education and research, are not. They have always been central to the mission of this school, just as they have always been central to improvements in health globally and to our work at the World Health Organization. I note that this building is designed to facilitate expanded class sizes to meet growing workforce needs in Massachusetts and beyond. I also note that just a few days ago, the school graduated the largest class in its history. Congratulations to all graduates. It would have been an honor for me to receive my honorary degree with you. But the World Health Assembly only finished midnight on Saturday. It's actually after the session. And followed by a board meeting. I'm particularly pleased to note the school's emphasis on primary care, which is the essential foundation of any health system. WHO estimates that about 90% of essential health services can be delivered at the primary health care level. And yet, for too long, too many countries have focused their investments on advanced medical care in high-tech hospitals, but neglected investments in primary health care. Certainly, high-quality secondary and tertiary care are very important. But investments in primary health care are the most cost-effective in terms of the returns delivered in preventing or delaying the need for more costly secondary and tertiary care. A primary health care approach is also vital for addressing the drivers of disease in the food people eat, the air they breathe, and the conditions in which they live. And at the eyes and ears of the health system, primary health care is also essential for preventing, detecting, and responding to outbreaks at the earliest stage. But of course, primary care does not deliver itself. Vaccines do not administer themselves. Caesarean sections do not perform themselves. And care, compassion, and kindness, above all, do not deliver themselves. They all require a person. And not just any person, they require a health or care worker. The simple truth is that there is no health without health and care workers. Certainly, artificial intelligence and other technologies offer huge potential for research and for diagnosis, treatment, and service delivery. One of our priorities at WHO is supporting countries to harness the power of technology for health. But nothing will ever replace a health worker. The COVID-19 pandemic showed us just how important they are. And yet globally, we're facing a shortage of 10 million health and care workers to achieve the health-related targets in the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Unsurprisingly, the biggest gaps are in the poorest countries, although it's a challenge you face here in the US as well, as populations age and health needs grow. That's why one of our other initiatives has been to develop the WHO Academy in Lyon, France, which will open in December this year. I'm glad to invite Mike to join us. It will be a game changer. Our aim is that the WHO Academy will become a global center for lifelong learning in health and for building capacities for the health and care workforce globally, as well as for WHO's own workforce. The building is beautiful, but I think I have to admit this is more beautiful. Our aim is not to compete with other academic and health institutions, but rather to collaborate and complement them through partnerships. So, Chancellor Collins, we would very much welcome the opportunity to discuss with you how the WHO Academy could partner with UMass Chan Medical School to leverage your expertise and experience for the world. So, just as this new building will provide a platform for education, so too it will provide a platform for building on the school's impressive track record in research in HIV, cancer, diabetes, infectious diseases, and in understanding the molecular basis of disease. And of course, Dr. Craig Mellow's Nobel Prize-winning research on RNA interference has opened the door to new treatments against many diseases. I'm pleased to see the school continues to build on Dr. Mellow's work, including through the RNA Therapeutics Institute and the Gene Therapy Center. Research has given us so many solutions to so many health challenges. Research has given us vaccines, antibiotics, and other medicines with which we can prevent, diagnose, and treat diseases that were once a death sentence. Research has helped us to identify the cause of diseases that were once a mystery, like malaria, TB, HIV, cervical cancer, and more. Research has enabled us to peer ever further into what makes us human, to map our genome, and even to edit it, thanks to the research of Dr. Melo, one of yours, and others. And research continues to push back the boundaries of the impossible and the unknown. The key challenge we face is to ensure that the fruits of research are available to all people, that they serve to narrow inequalities rather than widen them. The COVID-19 pandemic was a perfect example. The development and approval of multiple safe and effective vaccines in less than a year was a triumph for science and research. But, as you know, inequitable access to those vaccines globally was a stain on our collective conscience. This should not be repeated. At the World Health Assembly in Geneva last week, the nations of the world took decisive steps towards making the world safer and more equitable. A good step forward. Based on lessons learned from the pandemic, they adopted an important set of amendments to the international health regulations, the instrument of international law that governs the global response to health emergencies. They also agreed to extend negotiations for another year on a new pandemic agreement. Initially, countries had committed to finalizing the agreement in time for last week's Health Assembly. And although they came a long way, they were not able to reach consensus in time. The 2-year time frame they gave themselves was extremely ambitious. The fact that they came as close as they did in just 2 years is frankly incredible. Because, as you know, international agreements, laws take many, many more years. So if they complete negotiations this year, or by next May at the latest, that's what they have agreed, it would still be a giant achievement in very short time. They have committed to doing that for 2 reasons. First, because they believe they can and will reach agreement. And second, because they believe the pandemic agreement is still needed urgently. Because history teaches us that the next pandemic is a matter of when, not if. However, the negotiations have been undermined by a torrent of mis- and disinformation, including false claims that nations will cede sovereignty to WHO, which is not true. So I ask all of you to speak up for the pandemic agreement and to speak out against mis- and disinformation, because this agreement belongs to you, belongs to all of us. It's about making the world safer for everyone. Dear friends, Dr. Craig Melo said, I quote, "I want to make a difference in the world because I believe that's what science is for," end of quote. And that's what this building is for. I think Mike said this building will hopefully change the course of history of this. Exactly. And not education for the sake of education. And not research for the sake of research. But education and research to make a difference in our world, to save lives, to prevent suffering, and to close inequities. That is what this building is for. And that's what the work that we do at WHO is all about. We share the same purpose. We were founded 76 years ago in 1948 as the world emerged from the devastation of the Second World War. Like the United Nations, of which we are part, WHO was born of the recognition that the only alternative to global conflict was global cooperation. Our Constitution was the first instrument of international law to affirm that the highest attainable standard of health is a fundamental right for all people without distinction, fundamental human right. And as Mike said, because I very often say this, not a privilege for some or for most. It's a right for all. That's the right for which, as WHO, we will continue to work. And that's the right that I hope and expect this building will serve. Thank you once again for this great honor. And thank you for your commitment to promoting, providing, and protecting the health of the people of Massachusetts and the United States and the world. And I would like to also thank my family, my wife Kudus and Brooke, my son and Glenn. This is not, by the way, this is not the whole family. What you see? I will tell you a story and then I will finish. We have 5 kids with my wife, 4 boys, and finally a girl, that's Belen. So from the start, I wanted to have a daughter. How she wouldn't come. And then on the 5th, she came. It means I'm a bit stubborn. I don't give up. Because I always say it's possible. You can get what you want. Then she came and was born on my birthday. So we share the same. So as you can imagine, they support me well, so I would like to thank them and thank for their support. And thank you also to Mike for bringing me into this family, and look forward to working with you closely. We have already identified something that UMass Chan has, a comparative advantage, and look forward to using UMass as a collaborating center for WHO. And through that, your influence will continue to increase globally. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, now you're an alumnus, so it's official as a member of the family. Congratulations, Dr. Tedros. What thoughtful and inspiring words you've shared with us today. On behalf of all of us at UMass Chan, we thank you and your family once again for enriching today's milestone with your presence and prose. Dr. Tedros, as you know, and you demonstrate through your work at the WHO, success is not a solo endeavor. Our motto here at UMass Chan is advancing together. This reflects our commitment to collaboration, our recognition that success, in this case, the building that now dominates our quad, requires the support, ideas, and advocacy of many. And we accept your invitation to partner with the WHO Academy. Our Congressman Jim McGovern, during my 17 years here, has been an indispensable, reliable, influential, and stalwart champion of this medical school. He's come through for our institution time and time again, and I'd like to take a moment to express my thanks for his leadership and support. Whether levering his experience in Washington, D.C. to push for more NIH-funded research or advocating for greater investment in the life and health sciences education, we and countless others repeatedly call on Representative McGovern, and he always reaches out to help. Congressman, we appreciate that you have demonstrated such tremendous leadership on these issues, which matter so dearly to us here at UMass Chan. Would you please all join me in welcoming Congressman Jim McGovern to the podium. Thank you.
How the hell did I get on the program to follow Dr. Tedros? I don't know. But first of all, I want to thank Chancellor Collins, not only for the generous introduction, but for inviting me here today. I am excited and so happy to be here today with all of you, and not in Washington. To be frank, I'd be excited and happy to have root canal and not be in Washington right now. But I want to thank Chancellor Collins for his incredible leadership. He dreams big, he thinks big, and he gets big stuff done. And there's so much about UMass Chan that is like the envy of not only other states in this country, but the world. And I am so privileged to be able to work with him every day. It's an honor to be here with my former colleague, Marty Meehan, the president of the UMass system. Again, a tremendous leader. And who understands the importance of this medical school and the importance of investing in this medical school because great things will be accomplished here, and they already have been accomplished here. I want to thank Mary Burns for her leadership, and I'm happy to be here with my colleagues in government. I see the city manager, Eric Batista, is here as well. I want to thank them for all that they do to support the UMass Chan Medical School. And Dr. Tedros, thank you for your incredible leadership. I appreciate all that you do as Director General of the World Health Organization. You have dedicated your life to alleviating human suffering around the globe, and you have made great strides. And I share your view that healthcare ought to be viewed as a fundamental human right, not just for everybody in the United States, but for everybody in the world. And that is something that we need to strive toward. I apologize for the fact that there are people in this country, leaders in this country, who work overtime to spread misinformation and conspiracy theories that make it difficult, even when the resources are there, to be able to administer health care to people. Campaigns to scare people away from vaccinations and other treatments have resulted in people dying needlessly. And so I think all of us here, the students and the faculty and everybody who's at this school, needs to play a role in helping to educate people about what the truth is. Truth matters, and when misinformation is spread in the field of the health sciences, people die. But thank you, and we will be wind at your back. We all know that UMass Chan Medical School plays a critical role in the life science ecosystem here in New England. And this program has not only made Worcester one of the most significant life science hubs in the country, but it has also built a name for itself as a place that exceeds excellence in medical education, research, and patient care. It's exciting to say that today's ribbon cutting marks the continuation of that legacy. This new education and research building fortifies UMass Chan's role as an innovation leader. The facility will focus on cutting-edge gene therapy, the neurosciences, and molecular medicine, important fields that have grown only more essential as experts seek more knowledge and study treatments for some of the most intractable diseases people face, like ALS and Alzheimer's. Investments like this one being unveiled today are invaluable. They help make sure America leads the way on global research, and Massachusetts leads the nation when it comes to breakthroughs that will change our world and reshape our society for decades to come. And to top it off, as the Chancellor opened up with in his remarks, this building is designed to actually reduce greenhouse gas emissions by using a geothermal system to provide heating and cooling to the building. It's climate-conscious home for what I'm sure will be many research breakthroughs. And it's no surprise that UMass Chan Medical is doing such innovative and inspiring work. I just want to close on a personal note. As some of you may know, I have a daughter who's now 22 that 5 years ago was diagnosed with this rare cancer, and she's currently in a medical trial. And I remember when she was here at UMass, when she was initially diagnosed, Francis Collins, the head of NIH, the former head of NIH, came up to do an event with the school, but as she went up to visit her. And I asked him at the time, I says, will there ever be a cure to cancer? Will we ever find a cure to cancer? And he says, we have. We have found cures to many cancers. If the question is, will we find a cure to all cancers and all disease? The answer is yes, we will. The only question is how quickly and how fast. And that depends on the commitment of political leaders. That depends on the investments and the researchers and having brilliant students and faculty and researchers research these diseases. Everything is possible. And I believe this new facility will help encourage more miracle breakthroughs that will change people's lives for the better. So I look forward to seeing what great work comes out of this new building and from the principal investigators that will call it home. And again, thank you for all that you do. Dr. Tedros and Chancellor Collins, thank you for your incredible leadership. Thank you for being born. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman. At UMass Chan, we value the distinction of being the Commonwealth's first and only public medical school. To that end, we're grateful for the support of our state, regional, and local elected leaders, some of whom I'm happy to say have joined us at today's celebration. Now, as you may imagine, demanding schedules are keeping others from being with us, including Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, who, by the way, spent the weekend with us. The governor delivered a simply wonderful and stirring commencement address this past Sunday to our graduates and their families. I can't tell you how many glowing remarks we've heard following the ceremony. And the United States Senate is in session today, keeping Senators Markey and Warren in our nation's capital. That said, please turn your attention to the screen to hear from our leaders on Capitol Hill and Beacon Hill, beginning with Governor Maura Healey, who served as UMass Chan's 2024 commencement speaker. The University of Massachusetts Chan Medical School bestows upon you this Chancellor's Medal.
It's an incredible honor for me to be able to be here with you today. As governor, I am so proud of each and every one of you and so grateful, because the truth is, we need you now more than ever. Because this is the place to be for science in healthcare. And for you all, this really is your time. This is your era. Thanks to so many here, including Nobel Prize winners, we are the global leader of life science research and medical innovation. We're the state that brought the world a COVID vaccine and where new cures and therapies are being developed every single day, many of them right here at UMass Chan. It's awesome. Massachusetts, we were chosen because of our global innovation leadership and our commitment to health equity. And I can tell you, the new education and research building that you're going to celebrate later this week will help take this ARPA-H leadership to another level. Because UMass Chan is not like any other medical school. This place is really special. This is Massachusetts' own school, based here in the heart of our state. So this is a critical time for graduates, including for the future of healthcare. It's a moment of great challenge, but it's also a moment of, as Chancellor said, great hope, great opportunity. We need you to get the job done. You will be the generation that advances all of this to the next level. Stay with it. Ride it out. Find the support that you need to get you through, because we need you. Not just we in Massachusetts, but this world needs you. God bless all of you. I wish you the very best. Congratulations, 2024.
I'm Senator Elizabeth Warren, and UMass Chan is transforming federal dollars into cutting-edge research. That's got me fired up.
I'm Senator Ed Markey. Congratulations to UMass Chan Medical School on today's grand opening. On these grounds, some of our Commonwealth's greatest minds will work to advance the treatments of the future, constructed with the support of the local union workforce that makes our Commonwealth so great, and built to harness the energy solutions of the future. So thank you for all of your great work. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Yvonne, the Secretary of Economic Development for our state of Massachusetts. I am so thrilled today to congratulate UMass Chan on this awesome new facility. I talk all the time about Team Massachusetts, and we are so lucky to have UMass Chan as an important part of our team. We talk a lot in our state about lengthening our lead in life sciences. The fact that this new facility will have 350,000 square feet with 70 principal investigators working across all of the next phases of innovation and curing disease. We're so excited about the opportunity here. So congratulations. Thank you so much, UMass Chan, and we're so grateful to have you on Team Massachusetts.
I'm Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor of Massachusetts, and I can't wait to see the life-changing discoveries, cures, and treatments that come out of this brand new state-of-the-art facility. Congratulations.
We will now hear from members of our Worcester legislative and city delegations. We depend upon the support, counsel, and partnership of our entire Central Massachusetts delegation, as well as the senior-most officials from the city of Worcester, represented today by City Manager Eric Batista. Welcome. We're also pleased to have State Senator Robin Kennedy and State Representative Jim O'Day. They will speak on behalf of the legislative delegation and Mayor Joe Petty to represent the city of Worcester. To begin, please join me in welcoming to the podium our state senator, Senator Kennedy, the Senator Kennedy, and a terrific public servant, along with Senator Mahoney. Senator. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Collins. I appreciate it, and it is my goal to one day live up to the title of Senator Kennedy, for sure. I certainly, while I have the distinct honor and privilege of physically representing UMass Chan Medical School, I certainly acknowledge that there is nothing great that happens in the city of Worcester without the partnership of our phenomenal team delegation, and I want to acknowledge my colleague, Senator Michael Moore, who's here with us today, Representative John Mahoney, who's here with us today, and of course, as we look right across the lake, we couldn't do what we do here without partnership with Representative Hannah Kane, representing Shrewsbury and Westboro. So it's really an honor and privilege to be with you all. I want to, again, thank you, Chancellor Collins, for allowing us to say a few words here today, and want to welcome President Meehan, say thank you, and we are so fortunate in Worcester to have the best congressman in the entire country. So, Congressman McGovern, it's a privilege to be with you here as well. And hopefully I was discreet enough in walking down the side, but I want to acknowledge that I was running a few minutes late because I was arriving here from a groundbreaking celebration for the new Neshoba Regional High School that'll soon be built. And isn't lost on me the uniqueness of my morning. And Dr. Tedros, to your point, we don't start in building the field of physicians and medical leaders that we need in medical school. It's about building that pipeline in high school. And Neshoba High School has a new state-of-the-art EMT training cadet program. With their new facility, we'll be able to expand. So we are building that pipeline to help reach the goal of the capacity that we need. It is certainly exciting times here at UMass Chan. Thank you for joining us here for the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new Education and Research Building. As has been said, this building is a game changer for the life sciences, advancing research on ALS, Alzheimer's, and more. With this focus on sustainability and diversity, UMass Chan is shaping the future of healthcare and innovation. This facility is a testament to UMass's commitment to advancing knowledge and treatment for some of the most challenging diseases our community faces. With over 70 principal investigators focused on gene therapy, neurosciences, and molecular medicine, this building will be a hub of innovation and discovery, not just for Central Mass, but for all of the Commonwealth and the country. And I want to go back and talk about the building, because it is important to emphasize the effort and intentionality that went into the concept to begin with. Not only, as was mentioned, the energy efficiency and the LEED certification that the building received, but the commitment to union workforce, the commitment and intentionality on ensuring that we don't just set goals, but that we exceed the goals of giving marginalized community access to the workforce. And so I want to congratulate you for exceeding the goals on having women and people of color on the job site. The longer I serve in this office, it becomes more and more clear to me that there may be something special to being the second largest city, or maybe the smallest of the UMass campuses. You see, we aren't ever satisfied with the potential for growth. We aren't ever complacent on where we can go next. And while I did miss the first few minutes of the Chancellor's remarks, I wonder if you included the slides on the next project that we'll be embarking on? That's for tomorrow? Okay, for tomorrow. We are led by hope, as the Chancellor acknowledged, but we are driven by a hunger for innovation, a hunger for growth, and a hunger to meet and exceed our friends and colleagues to the east. I'm incredibly grateful to have a partner in Chancellor Collins, because we acknowledge that nothing can get done here in the city without incredible institutions like UMass Chan Medical School. So I do at this time, I want to invite my colleagues in the legislature to join me on stage so that I can offer Chancellor Collins' official citation on behalf of the legislature. A little point of privilege here. This is an official citation on behalf of the legislature. Be it known that the Massachusetts legislature hereby extends its congratulations to the University of Massachusetts Chan Medical School in recognition of the ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrating the grand opening of the new research and education building. And be it further known that the legislature extends its best wishes for continued success. So, Chancellor Collins, if I can offer this to you. And I have now the great privilege of introducing an unwavering champion for the city of Worcester, who shares that hunger to meet and exceed the largest city, our friends to the east, Mayor Joseph Petty.
Thank you, Senator. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. Chancellor, thank you for the invite. President Meehan, thank you. Much appreciated. I'm honored to really speak on behalf of the City of Worcester. With us today, we have City Manager Eric Batista, Tim Murray, head of the Chamber, and I think Candy Merrill Carlson may be here too. But thank you for having me. I'm also honored and privileged to have Dr. Tedros, Director of the General of the World Health Organization, and his family here in the City of Worcester on this momentous occasion. So welcome. Thank you to UMass Chan Medical School and the Chancellor and the organizers of today's event for their efforts in getting a World Health icon to our great city. The new education and research building serves to be another step in the City of Worcester's journey toward becoming a world-renowned life science region. We are currently considered to be part of the top 20 life science regions in the nation. The addition of the new education and research building allowed for the addition of 70 principal investigators, while adding educational and conference spaces to support the missions of all 3 graduate schools on campus. We are currently combating shortages of laboratory space, physicians, and health science workers. Accommodating for these needs, by creating more jobs and potential pathways for future physicians who actively address our needs while still researching and developing the life-saving care that UMass Chan provides. In my lifetime, I have seen the real-life transformations from the life sciences world as we create testaments to make conditions manageable and improve the quality of life of the people who are in the hospitals on this campus and all over the world. The work is critical, and I am thrilled to see that we continue to invest in this work in the city of Worcester. I just want to thank the Chancellor for his vision and his leadership, because he not only elevated UMass Chan to a higher level, but the city of Worcester, making it successful. So I appreciate that. As Robin Kennedy said, next groundbreaking pretty soon. But I look forward to the inspiring knowledge that comes from this building. I wish you all the best the years to come, Chancellor, and great job. I'd just like to make a presentation to Dr. Tedros. On behalf of the people of Worcester, it says, Dr. Tedros, in recognition of your work as Director General of the World Health Organization, keep my community healthy at the highest level, I represent to you the key to the city of Worcester.
Thank you very much, Mayor Petty, Senator Kennedy, and Dr. Tedros. You've now got a key I might need to borrow from time to time. So, anytime. As we conclude this morning's speaking program, each of you will soon have the opportunity to tour the new Education and Research Building. We'll be opening up the NURB and invite you to explore levels 1, 2, and 5. But before you go, I would just like to first say that I recognize that I put Representative Mahoney into the Senate. I put Senator in front of Mahoney's name, so I left out Senator Moore. And Representative Kane, I have this problem. When people sit too close to me, I can't see them. So, the great representative from Shrewsbury, the great John Mahoney, who is an enormous friend of this medical school, and Senator Moore, who has chaired the Education Committee in recent times, I thank the three of you for the support of this great institution. Many of you are from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, yes? Yes? All those in favor of another building, please say aye. Any opposed? I didn't think so. Okay. Now, one more thing. There's no way I leave this podium today without talking about the person whose intellect, integrity, thoughtfulness, and academic leadership over our 17-year partnership makes this building possible. Terry Flott. We have begun our 18th year here. Terry came 2.5 weeks before I did. And 3 or 4 weeks after I got here, early in one afternoon, I invited the provost to come into my office, and I said, Terry, I'd like you to think about a $400 million project for this campus. Clearly thought I had some Chardonnay for lunch, clearly. But what you see, this beautiful building, is what came from that conversation. Every adjacency, every lab posting, all of the needs that our campus need came from his thinking. And then, just before COVID, he came into my office and said, Chancellor, I think we need another building. Now, we have this thing. He walks in and says something like that, becomes my job. But I just want to say, Terry, that the people at UMass Chan know this. We have the greatest medical school dean in America. I could have shown Tay-Sachs patients who should be dead but are swimming in a pool because of his science. And I could tell you that those children who have the privilege to have him as their doctor and the privilege he sees in taking care of them is extraordinary. UMass Chan is indeed a very special place. And Terry, I want to thank you very much for those. It just has been the most amazing 17 years together. Thank you very much. All right, so now here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask those of you who are in the first few seats here who have been on the stage, et cetera, to leave shortly. And if others could just stay seated for the 30 seconds it takes us to go outside. We're going to go out to the front of the building to take a picture of a ribbon cutting. I guess you have to have this for history or something. So by the time we leave, we'll wait about 10 minutes. So if others would like to come out and see that, it'd be great. And then we will open the doors. We're coming. We're going to put a monitor up there now so I can see what goes up there. Yeah. So let me thank all the folks who worked to, we were supposed to do this in the tent, but we were a little concerned about the weather and a little bit of groundwater. And I want to thank everyone from our facilities team, Jen Berryman and her team in communications, Brian Goodchild, who made the videos, Brendan Chisholm, who helps me with the words, and the entire community for what you will now do to make this so special. Thank you for being with us to celebrate this wonderful milestone for UMass Chan. This now concludes our speaking program. We'll see you out front in front of the ribbon very shortly. Thank you very much.
Can't even believe it. How old are you now? You 50 yet? Yep. Main Street.
Has anybody heard how big this group's going to be?
Yeah. They make a list of who.
Are we like end to end, or are they just going to be?
There's like 10.
Oh, we have a nice.
Thank you.
We have a nice film.
I won't.
She don't work with me. Can we get that?
Everybody else is coming in. Come right in, have a hand out. Sorry.
Just want to wait a minute for let's get more people.
Squeeze it in as tight as we can.
So Mike, you have to grab. We're going to wait just a minute because we're waiting for people to do
Routine. We're still killing time.
Okay.
And can we back it up a little bit, or what? Are we, okay. And, let me know when we're good to go, Jack. All right. Ooh, it's sunny. This is a good delay while we wait for a cloud.
It's not going to come.
You don't think? Yeah, the fill off the ground is nice. I mean, or it makes us survive anyway. Once we do get going, we'll do one style, and then I'll count you down to 3. So I'm going to pose them for a smile, and then I'll count them down 3, 2, 1, cut.
Okay.
All right, we're good to go? Okay. All right, so we're going to smile up here for a couple. You okay back there?
Yep.
All right, and right towards me. Here we go, right up the middle. Everyone good there? And I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. We cut away.